Lucas is a character that was introduced in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Lucas was created to be a semi-clone of Ness, where instead of using PK Fire like Ness, Lucas would use PK Freeze and so on and so forth. Lucas was a very floaty character in Brawl and ended up being in the E tier, classified as a pretty bad character in Brawl's slow and campy engine, riddled with Meta Knight mains. In Project M, Lucas has been buffed and changed to be a much fast faller, semi-fast faller type of character, so he ultimately feels different in this iteration of the character compared to his Brawl iteration. In Project M, Lucas landed in the A- tier, and Project M 3.6's final tier list, which means Lucas is actually a very good character. He is even capable of going to grand finals and even winning tournaments. Of course, this version of Lucas is much more different from any other iteration of the character in Smash 4 and Brawl and so on. A lot of his moveset has been changed during the transition to Project M. Lucas's neutral B has been changed from PK Freeze to Offense Up. Offense Up is a chargeable move that boosts the power, range, shield damage, and knockback of Lucas's smash attacks. PK Freeze has been moved to his side special and it now shoots out like a projectile, similar to Ness's PK Fire. To compare Lucas to Ness for a minute, because I'm personally a Ness main, Lucas is much more of a fast faller. You could say he has some spacey inspiration in his moveset because of how fast he falls and his magnet, for example. He isn't as floaty as Ness, but he's a lot faster on the ground, and I personally feel like as a Ness main, playing the two characters together is pretty hard. They're very different from each other. Lucas is a character that strives in comboing and launching his opponents, so he can take those conversions and use them to his advantage. His neutral attacks, tilts can set up combos, and his aerials are also very good at setting up combos as well. And also with advanced tech, Lucas has actually one of the best, if not the best, Dacus in the game. If you remember his Dacus in Brawl, it now returns in Project M. It's amazing because of how far it goes, and his up smash is like crazy powerful, so you can like make reads like PK Freeze, and then if like they're still in hit stun, you can Dacus and then kill them with your up smash, which is incredibly strong. Lucas has crazy good movement. His wave dash is one of the best parts of his character. It almost goes further than Marth's wave dash, and he even has like a good dash dance as well. So movement is a big part of Lucas's character. His staple in his moveset is his down B, which is his magnet, which is equivalent to a shine in a way, except this move sends the opponents behind him, which on paper you might think isn't good, but it's actually really, really good. It allows him to magnet pressure, for example, and set up combos. It's one of his main tools in his moveset, and if you're a Lucas main, you want to for sure use this move. Lucas's side B, PK Freeze, is also a really good tool at zoning. It has two distances, so if you jump and then shoot out PK Freeze, it goes a little less further, but if you shoot PK Freeze at the ground, it goes much further. I wouldn't recommend spamming PK Freeze, but it's a good tool in his kit for pressuring. Lucas has a really slow grab. His pivot grab is somewhat decent, but his grab can leave him very vulnerable, so I wouldn't recommend throwing out his grab at all times. It isn't his strong suit. He does have a kill throw, which is his up throw, and he has somewhat of a combo throw being his down throw. One of Lucas's big weaknesses is his lack of range, and you can really see this with his aerials. While his aerials are really strong, for example, his down air is really good at setting up combos. His back air can spike off stage and it's like really strong. His forward air is probably the only aerial I would say that has like decent range, but it's also a pretty good aerial just in general. And outside of that, Lucas has trouble with dealing with characters with disjoints. So that would be like Marth, Ike, for example, like characters with swords. They give him a lot of trouble because they just outspace him and it makes it hard for Lucas to get in. Double jump canceling is another important tech for Lucas to learn because it really expands on his combo capabilities and moveset. It's where he cancels the momentum of his jump with an aerial, and it's very important for Lucas's moveset. Lucas's recovery is pretty decent, not having the same longer but powerful up B compared to Ness. Lucas's up B is much shorter and easier to use in my opinion. It doesn't stop when the opponents try to clank with it, meaning recovering can be much more consistent with Lucas than Ness. Also, Lucas has access to a Z-Air rope snake recovery tool, which means he can grab ledge, and that's another potential option he can use to recover with. And it can be used in neutral as well to extend combos. During the transition to Project Plus, Lucas got some considerable changes. PK freeze moves faster in the air, offense up, did get some damage and knockback nerfs, some priority changes to some of his aerials. For example, his neutral air can now clank with projectiles. And since the stage properties have been somewhat changed on things like Battlefield, that means characters like Lucas can recover a little bit more easier without hitting the sides and clanking with the top of the stages. He is still most likely a mid to high tier character, but we're going to have to see as the meta develops. Lucas is for you if you like characters with strong movement options and a pseudo shine magnet in his moveset. Some people use Lucas aggressively, but other people see him more as a bait and punish type character. So it just really depends on the Lucas main on how they want to play the character. He is also pretty light, so he can lose stocks pretty easily, but I still think personally he's definitely a very capable character, even capable offensively too. So that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good day. Peace out.